May profits be upon you. I put out a Aussie dollar, US dollar, Aussie USD or AU. I put out a pre-New York session analysis and trade idea earlier this morning. And I want to show you the trade that we took and how it played out. Okay. Uh, if you haven't already seen the video, please look at the link in the description. I've left it there, and I also will leave it at the end of this video on the end screen, and I'll point it out. And you can just click on that, and you can see the full analysis. I'm not going to go through the whole analysis again. I'm just going to go through the trade. Okay, so what I saw was price was breaking structure to the downside, came into this demand zone here, right? We reacted to that demand zone, and then price finally broke with a break and close of a candle body, all right, below the demand zone, all right? As soon as that happens, if anybody's watching my videos, all right, you know that I'm already up here looking for the supply that is responsible for taking out this demand, okay? And on the 15-minute, you can see that there's some levels in here to look at. And the first level I would be looking at is here. Now, we're going to use the power of market replay, the market replay tool up here, so I can play this out for you, but I want you to see how I marked it out. This is the supply zone that is responsible for taking out this demand zone, right? And as soon as price broke, I was up here plotting and looking at the possible areas that could reverse price and continue in this bearish trend. All right, I'm already my bias is already chosen by the time I get to the 15-minute zone. All right, if you just one quick glance at the 4-hour will tell you that we are in a very bearish market. All right, with lower lows and lower highs. We did get a nice pop here. All right, we have a big old news candle, right? That news or the CPI data, and then we have this breaking down below these lows into this demand zone, which was here, and we kept getting lower and lower into it, and then we finally broke through it. So it's no hard matter to decide what the bias is, right? So I also want I want to point out a couple of things here. All right, as price made this lower low, lower high, and lower low, we broke structure, right? After every break of structure, what do you expect? A return to impulse, or return to origin. This is the origin of the impulse, right? Anything in this bearish leg, I'm looking for supply zones that when price returns back to it, will have the power to reverse price and continue in the bearish trend. So I have a pro-trend trade setup, all right? It's going to go with the trend. So I have wind to my back. That's one thing. The other thing is look at the range of price. If we look at this as the top of the range and the bottom of the range, as it goes from lower high to lower low, right? You divide this in half, and we're right at the 50% mark of this trading range. All right. I don't want to take a sell when it's in this area as opposed to this area, above the 50 or below the 50. This is premium price, and this is discount price. All right. I want to take my buys from discount, and I want to take my sells from premium. This isn't high enough for me. It's my tip to newer traders. All right, don't settle for good enough. Look for your setup. Make sure it checks all the boxes. All right, don't settle for good enough. If it's at 50 and you're like, this is good enough, or whatever. If your rules say wait until it's above 50 in premium, all right, and it's at 618 golden ratio or 705 or 786, those are better, higher probability trades. All right, you start taking shorts from the 50% or lower, you have a lower probability of having a successful trade. Okay. That's them the rules. All right. So what my plan is, I'm going to wait until price comes up here and comes into contact with my POI. All right. This is where I was when we did the video, and we were about 15 minutes from the start of the New York session, right? And you know that I pointed out that there's volume that is going to come in. All right. Did I miss my optimal entry? This looks like a great entry, right? But for me, it's not great. It's good enough, but not good enough for me. All right. I want to see if this popped up here, if that wick came up here, we're well in premium. And this is probably around the 618 golden ratio on the Fibonacci retracement tool. That would be best. But I'm looking at this zone here. All right. I have it up here I have it marked up here to stream, but the zone starts here. And this is what price came to. So, you know, somebody might be thinking, hey, man, I might have missed my opportunity. All right. This was the argument that I was given in the video. I said, I don't trust this. All right. If price doesn't come up higher to my setup and wait till price comes to me, you know, and I know that it's a better setup up here, higher, then I'm not going to settle for good enough. All right. That's it. I don't have the trust, the confidence in good enough. All right. So I didn't trust this for the reason that I already stated about the trading range. It's only at the midpoint of the trading range, and it's not so good to take shorts from this area. Better to take shorts from up here. But the other reason is the way this zone is constructed, there's no sweep. There's no sweep of liquidity. This is a liquidity point up here. And I can easily see price wanting to take make a sweep of that liquidity point up there. Okay. And that's dangerous when I see relative equal highs by my zone. All right. Because I'm thinking that at any point, price could want to go higher and then come down, looking for the sweep. All right. So I have the heebie-jeebies about this zone, and I expressed that in the video. Please go check it out. Okay. So I also thought if price continues down, once the New York Stock Exchange opens and the volume comes in to the marketplace, volume of traders and whatnot. All right. If price doesn't break this low, and respect it, this high is going to get taken. All right. If price breaks that low, then I just missed my trade, and that's it. You know, I'm not worried about it. You know, I didn't take a loss, and I waited according to my rules and my trading plan. I waited for my optimal setup. If I'm not settling for good enough, so if good enough works this time, well, great to those that took it, but that won't be me, right? So that was the setup. Okay, I marked off this zone, and I marked off this zone up here. Gave a good reason that this is the origin of the move, and if price makes it up here, I take this trade every day, twice on Sunday for shorts. All right, it's well into premium sector, the premium of the price range, right? And this is the origin of this impulse. So I'm expecting price to hold if price makes it up there. This one secondarily, you know, I'm going to look at this one first, you know, if price comes up there, because one, there's the relative equal highs here that price may want to sweep into this zone. All right. And then I'll look for my trading model here. I'll look for my trading model here first. All right. There is the extreme up here, which is why I had this zone coming up there. Hold on. There you go. Which is why I had the zone up here. This is the extreme of the zone. All right. If price comes up there and respects it and comes down, I'll take it. You know, I'm just going to look for my trading model, and this is my trading model. It's as simple as this: a pull, a push up, a pull back, a higher high, a lower low, breaking that low. All right, that's the market structure break. Then I'll look for price to pull back up, so I can take that high probability trade to the downside. This is my trading model. That's my entry. All right. So when price hits my POI on the 15-minute, I'm coming down to the 1 for my entry. And I hope you got that full explanation up there. We know that we're at the 50% mark. This is like where the New York Stock Exchange, the New York session has started, and I'm watching this price action. I want to see if we're going to get this sweep, because as I said in the video, I believe that price may come down here and then do this, all right, and sweep the high, and quite possibly sweep these highs of the supply zone. All right, so let's play price. All right, and I'm watching this, right? As price breaks structure to the downside, I'm like, oh man, I missed it. You know, it's the train is leaving the station. But I'm watching to see how things are down here, and you see that I already have a demand zone marked, thinking that price has the may find its support there. All right, and find its footing. And if price goes lower, this will probably be the last gasp here, right? So you got to plot these things out so you can, you know, if this, then that. You know, if price does this, this is what I'll do. You got to have a plan. You have to have something in place so you can jump to it, so you can make decisions that aren't based on emotion. You base them on your planning, all right? And you stay within your rules, the rules of your trading plan, all right? So price makes its way down, and I'm looking for bullish price action here, right? It didn't break market structure. You know, if I see price give me the indication that it wants to go higher, right? I want to see a break of market structure here, and then the follow through afterwards. But it's giving me just the opposite. It made a low, it made a lower low. So I'm looking to see if this high gets broken on this next pass up. All right, price doesn't do that. It continues down, and now we're in the last gas. Listen, there is liquidity down here. All right, if price takes this low, takes the low of this order block, this demand zone that I have you know, illustrated here, if it breaks that low, we're gonna it's going to continue down. And you know, I missed all of this, all right, but this is on the 1 minute, you understand? And you got to be nimble. You know, you can't be worried about what you missed and all that kind of stuff. You don't want FOMO to come in. If price breaks this low, breaks the low of the demand zone, I just say, hey, you know, I missed my trade. I missed the trade, but I'm not going to take a good enough setup. I'm going to take a correct setup. I'm going to take the right setup according to my rules and my trading plan. All right. So what I'm watching this very closely. All right. The things that are going through my mind is I needed to break some market structure. If price breaks some market structure and pulls back, this will probably make a very nice trade to the upside. So I can take a buy to the sell, but we're not going to cover that now. But that was the idea. Okay. And what happens? Price finds its footing. We start to see market structure being broke to the upside. All right. If price breaks that high, price breaks this high and pulls back, it'd be a great entry for a long. All right. We have a demonstration by the market that says we want to go up. We want to turn around here. All right. We're not coming for the liquidity down here just yet. So if we take a pullback, if we get a pullback, you can get that entry if you wanted to. All right, to take the buy to the sell. And there goes the pullback. You would have been laughing all the way to the bank as price makes its way up. Look at that. It was glorious. It was glorious. Now we've come back up here. Now I'm looking at this high that I was thinking about the whole time to see if it gets swept. I thought it would. I mentioned that in the video. And what happens? Of course it gets swept. All right. But look at what it did here. Now I'm up here, right? I'm up in here looking at this the extreme of this zone. And I'm saying to myself, if price finds its way to sweep this high, then I know we're going to mitigate this zone. All right, there's a what do you call an imbalance up there. Good reason, good draw on price to bring it up there, but I'm looking to see if it's going to take out this this liquidity here. All right, and I'm looking at the closing and the opening. I'm wondering if this zone is going to hold. So we're going to advance. All right, and we see that it did wick past the high. All right, so at this point, I'm looking to see if there's a break of market structure to the downside that will signal that price wants to go back down now, that we're going to round over. All right, and let's continue. That's not the market structure I'm looking for. The market structure break to the downside that I'm looking for. We see that we are now sweeping that high all the way over here to the left. All right, everything's, the analysis is going according to the plan. All right, so I'm watching this, and again, I'm looking to see if price will break market structure to the downside. All right, because you already, like I already mentioned, I'm looking for something, some very specific kind of price action. I need to see this. I need to see that market structure being broken to the downside, and I'll take the pullback as long as it respects that high. That's going to be my entry, right? I'm sorry, I just hit my mic. Okay, so I'm watching the price action. Let's go. Is that the kind of market structure I'm looking for? Hold on. Okay. Is that the kind of market structure break am I looking for? No, no, it's not. Let's see. Pardon me. So I got interrupted. So I'm looking for a break here. All right, but price is still making its way up. All right, it just touched and made equal highs. It didn't actually sweep yet. So I'm waiting and being patient. All right, and price finally breaks that high. We sweep those highs over here, and we're now into the higher zone. And this zone, unmitigated and all that. So I'm thinking there's a good chance that price is going to hold here. All right. So what do I want to see? I want to see some market structure. I want to see a high, a higher high, a market structure break, and then a pullback. That's what I want to see. All right. I keep it simple. All right. We got a high. Oh, snap. Oh, snap. All right. Now, this is not a high, a higher high, right? But this demand zone here held. This thing can get subtle, all right? And I get nitpicky with it, okay? Let me put the right color on that. So I'm watching these relative equal highs, all right? If price comes up and sweeps those highs, then this will be a non-starter for me, right? But if I see price start to break market structure, like I got that dotted line there, that is a change of character for me. That's going to be the early signal that price wants to change direction. And I will take that entry, especially if it's pro-trend. Pro-trend means I'm going with the trend, and that is wind to my back. So let's continue. Price came back up, and we got a nice bearish candle to break and close below that low. So for me, this is telling. That there is telling. All right. If it goes any lower, that's even more telling. What I'm looking for is price to break market structure. The whole point of this model is looking for price to break market structure to the downside and pull back and respect that high. Pull back and respect that high, or return to the origin. If I can get that back, or return to the origin up here, which is this up here, right? I'm looking for a return to origin and a respect to those highs, and that's it. So we're going to advance price. As price is coming down here, I'm already thinking we have good reason to look for the entry model. And the more it demonstrates, the more the market demonstrates that it wants to go lower, I'm looking at short-term low broken, short-term low broken. All right. If we break these lows, that's we're getting down here now. All right. And all I need is 2 short-term lows like this. All right. So I'm already looking at my entry. I will show you where it is, if I can find it. Okay. Right. I'm already waiting up here with a pending. All right. I got my stop loss above the highs and my entry at as soon as price comes into contact with the supply zone. And we'll play price. Price is on its way up. I'm looking at with anticipation. I am tagged in this trade. Tagged in this trade. Now, I'm not. It doesn't show it with this the trading tool here, but on my NT4, I got tagged in, and it came very close to tagging me right out. But price did reject here, right? Did hold. Let me move this over. The zone held. All right. I'm looking at these highs, the high of the zone as a protected high. So my confidence in the trade is based on that high being protected and this break of market structure. I hope you get this entry. I hope you get what I'm talking about here. Price did sweep that high. Price did sweep that high, but stayed within the zone. And you see the close and open well below the zone. Lots of respect there. So I felt pretty good about the entry. I'm breathing a little better because I almost got it came very close to stopping me out. But this is a 3.7 pip stop loss. All right. I look for up to between 3 and 6 pips on my stop losses. I'll adjust to market conditions, market structure, but that's what I usually look for. Anyway, I'm feeling pretty good about this, and price just starts to zoom away. And as it's breaking structure, when it breaks this low, I'm feeling I feel pretty good, and I'll put my trade to break even once it does break this low. All right, because I have structure to in between price and my entry stop loss, my break even stop loss. That's what I want. I need protection first before I move that stop loss. And now I have it, so I move stop loss to break even. And I'm, when it shot back up here, I was like, oh, now here it comes, right? But at this point, I was like 3.5 or near 4 R risk to reward around here. So I took a partial already, and I'm waiting for price to hit my TP. Price did come back here, gave me a bit of a scare, but we survived, and the rest is history.